Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Stephen Butala here for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how we sell properties every single day at light speed.
Yep.
Jill, great show today. Let's before we get into it, let's take a call from a question from a caller.
Okay, you got it. Nathan from Dallas called in and asked this question. I've been thinking about this for over a year, doing tons of research, and need help figuring out what type of property to start with. Does my budget decide this for me? I like that question.
I love the question too, and I'll tell you why. I love people who do their research.
I do.
Our best customers and best members, I should say, the ones that succeed the most, spend some time before they actually make a decision about who's going to educate them. Mm-hmm. I don't think you should spend over a year.
That's right. That's my only comment on that. I'm like, I totally agree with you doing your homework. I'm really a fan of that, but not too long, because then you never do anything.
So, okay, what kind of research helped you? So how much doing tons of research, and I need help figuring out what type of property to start with. Well, What would you do? My canned answer is start with the 4As.
Well, not only that, how I took this as a different way. I think that the person's asking, because I was thinking about the people that we met this last week. Do I do SFRs? Do I do vacant land?
Yeah, sure.
Do I do
type
multi-tenant?
Jill,
so that's how I took it. So sometimes, your budget doesn't have to decide that for you, because there's always money when you find good deals. So I have two things. You want me to answer this, or do you want it?
I would love for you to answer it. As always, I have a lot to say about this too. Go ahead.
Okay, so my 2 points are if once you make a decision on what you want to do, go for it 100%. And I like your saying that your coach told you years ago. Yeah, if you're going to do it wrong, do it 90 miles an hour wrong, kind of thing. Just go for it. So if you decide you want to do commercial property, go for it. Don't let your budget hold you back. However, you can start with what we did with not a lot of money. So I don't know, Stephen, what's your answer?
Well, first of all, my high school football coach, in all of his insanity, told us all that, because we were running pretty complicated playbooks for 16-year-old. A 16-year-old boy is mentally ill anyway. And so to remember all those plays is tough for a lot of people, me included. So he said, look, if you don't know the play, you can't remember it, and we're running the play, you better run it you better make a mistake at 100 miles an hour. I don't want to see you out there wondering, scratching your head and not, just not running. Run something, anything. So that always stuck with me. Just make a mistake at 100 miles an hour. That's it. So anyway, but, Nathan, I'll tell you, here's my take on this. I don't think that these subsections of real estate investment, like land or houses or office buildings, I don't think that you choose them. In the end, I think they choose you. I think most people get into this thinking that they're going to buy and sell and flip houses and things like that. And you find out, I started with nursing homes, long-term care, a long time ago. Talk about a complicated transaction. I describe it in the free ebook at landacademy.com. But what you want to do is give it a shot. Give it a shot, whatever you think. If you want to flip houses, go for it. Mm-hmm. Our data is just as good for that. Mm-hmm. And you're going to find that either you love it or you don't. Mm-hmm. Jill and I have fortunately been on the same page about this. Mm-hmm. Houses are not, we do it all the time. We wholesale houses. We buy them without looking at them and send them over to a rehabber.
Right.
But
mark them up a little bit and pass it on.
But I'm not trying to hard sell here. Why don't you buy a piece of land for a few $100 and sell it for twice as much and see if you like it?
Yeah.
What's not to like?
That's an easy one. That's true. Just even to get your feet wet, learn how the process works. It's a good thing. And it's a good thing to have on the side.
Right. The people that don't choose this niche, that I've seen that we have here, I've seen a common trait. They really don't like computers. There's a lot of computer.
Oh.
There, some real estate people, they never sit in an office. They're in their car all day.
The time.
And they're actually they're actually like real estate. They're looking at the actual real estate. Mm-hmm. We don't look at the actual real estate very often here in person. No. In fact, at our level, we don't ever look at it. But I don't recommend that you do that. But we love computers here, or I do anyway. Jill,
you do.
Jill likes people.
I like people. It's funny. If I had to choose, I would be out in my car all the time having fun and meeting people. No work would be getting done, but I'd be having a whole lot of fun, and I'd make a lot of connections.
I did a real estate deal about 3 years ago for the first time ever. It was always a goal of mine to never talk to the buyer and never talk to the seller on the phone and never talk to anybody involved in the transactions, just exchanging emails, putting money in the mail, hiring a notary, the whole thing. Didn't ever talk to anybody. And I patted myself on the back for that. There are most people, Jill included, who think that that's mentally ill.
No, there's just the way you like to do it, and that's totally fine. That's not mentally ill.
I just wanted to prove it.
That's good. I like that.
What's this show about anyway?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more little question you had. Does my budget decide this for me? I don't know, Jill.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No,
forget about the money, please. We get this question so often.
We do. If you've got a good deal, go for it. Find a good deal. There's always money there. There's people back there. There's people behind you wanting you to come to them with this deal that you've sourced and found.
Never, ever let a good acquisition go to waste. Mm-hmm. The short answer is forget about the money. Go full speed ahead to try to source undervalued properties. And when you find them, and you will very soon, especially if you're involved with our group, mm-hmm. bring the deals to us. Go out on Craigslist and say, look, I have a great deal, and it's $30,000 below market, but I don't have the cash to do it, and I don't want this acquisition to go to waste. Use that sentence. I don't want this great real estate deal to go to waste because of lack of funds. You'll get a tremendous response.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, sorry. That was a long way to answer that. I'm sorry.
I know. I didn't think the question was that long. All right. So how to sell land at top speed?
This is made for you.
You have to talk really fast to a lot of people. A lot. No, that's not the right answer.
Absolutely what not to do.
Exactly. Drive really fast. Put bandit signs everywhere. No.
So I'm going to start off with my industry rule about all real estate, about why property doesn't sell. And then you're going to please, then you can just take it from there, Joe.
Then you're just going to leave?
Yeah, I want to go get a Coke.
Yeah. I'm going to lunch. I guess I'll see you later. Okay.
There are exactly 2 reasons that any property doesn't sell, any of it. 1, it's priced too high, and this is the vast majority of it. Why is it priced too high, Jill?
Because they're not doing it right.
Because you paid too much in the first place.
Right.
And you're crazy and you're trying to maximize. And you shouldn't do that. You're a good bird dog. You're good at finding real estate. That's your real talent. So number 1, it's priced wrong. Number 2, it's priced perfectly, but you're not reaching the right people. The right people don't know it's for sale. It could be perfectly priced, and if it's not posted anywhere on the internet, you just have a sign on it, and 3 cars drive by a day, you're not going to sell it.
Correct.
So, Jill, how do you get the word out? How do you sell land? You sell properties every day. How do you do it?
Have a system, and don't get hung up. Like, post it everywhere. So you should have your own website, because you want to build credibility, by the way, and drive traffic to your website, by the way. B, have it all on everything out there. Dream it up. LandWatch, Land and Farm.
Well, can you list them?
Trulia.
List where you should. Let's be helpful here and really list the actual sites that it should be on.
Okay, your website. You should have it on Land and Farm. You should if it's a vacant property.
It's landandfarm.com.
Mm-hmm. Landwatch.com. I would suggest eBay as a buy it now option.
Me too.
If you want to get a good price for it, and we'll get into in a minute if you don't care about it, what to do with it, just to move it. You could do Trulia. Through Postlet. This Postlet's put them all everywhere. There's some other
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist.
EagleStar.net.
That's a good one. And you know what? I even do in social media.
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say. And once you get good at it, I'm going to give away some secrets here in just a minute. Once you got the ball rolling, you need to run a promo. Jill's promo is called the Hump Day Special. Mm-hmm. Every Wednesday, she sends 1 or 2 or 3 or a few properties out to this massive network that we've established. Mm-hmm. And I think you sell a property every single.
Yeah, it's pretty much a mad dash for the phones.
Right.
So, because I mark them like to move on the Hump Day Special. So, yep.
Here's a few other tips. You got to make it as easy as you can for people to check out. So the ideal scenario is for them to click on a link in whatever you sent, and then they just check themselves out. They put in their credit card number. This shocks a lot of people that are seasoned real estate pros because they say, "What is this? Am I buying a pair of shoes or am I buying a piece of land?" Well, it's the 21st century, and I can almost guess the person's age that asks a question like that. Mm-hmm. So times have changed, and you can buy it. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I was going to say is I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but you got to be patient. You can't expect it. I mean, you got to put it out there everywhere and put as much property information as you can about it, by the way. And you want to have good pictures and a good description. If you want to, I see so many ads. I go into like Land Watch. I'm looking for comps and things. And I'm in there and I see all kinds, like a property posted, no description, no photos, and a phone number. I'm like, really? Do you really expect someone to get excited about that? I would just move down the list. And this is what I do. I'm not looking at it. So.
By the way, if you are a member that receives our Data to Doorstep program, we teach how to mail out, send direct mail to property owners to find undervalued property.
Yep.
I read a study that HUD put out a few years ago, and they said that about 60% of the people who purchase a house 60% of the buyers for any given house are in the neighborhood already. So if you have a house for sale, the guy across the street sees a sign go up and he calls his brother and says, "Hey, I know you guys are looking for you and your wife were.
You like my neighborhood."
It sells to immediate area other property owners. So you have the data for exactly the properties that you purchased. Why not drop a little note to, let's say, the closest 10 or 15 people? Here's another hint. I've never had to do that because I honestly have never had to do that because our stuff sells so well. But here's another hint that if you could take about an hour, go into landwatch.com, wherever your property is. Let's say it's in, I don't care, Tennessee. Find all the other people who are listing property, whether they're agents or owners, in Tennessee or in the immediate area, and send them an email. You can build a huge buyers list. I mean, thousands of people. If you spend a day in LandWatch, reaching out, getting emails, and talking to people, it's not hard to build a huge list immediately.
Very true. That's a really good way.
Jill and I
forgot about that too. That's right. Just reach all the people that are right there that you're looking at their properties. That's a great idea.
Jill and I have I have extensively gone into these websites, that the ones that Jill just listed, and built a massive list, and it works. So they receive an email from us every time we get a property. And the ones that don't want to receive it anymore, it's like everything. They unsubscribe. It works great, and it doesn't take too long.
You know what's interesting, Stephen, is that it seems like the people who are real serious buyers, they don't ask a lot of questions. So I have a few like red flags that I see when I have sellers, or buyers contacting me. If they ask a lot of questions, they need to go stand on it and feel it and all that kind of stuff, they may not be the right people. But the real serious ones, it's kind of like they already do their homework before they call me, and they're like ready to go.
Yeah, if someone calls you and says, "How do I pay for this? I want it," they're probably going to buy it.
Yeah, they're probably going to buy it.
The other thing too is that, I personally have an issue with, "Hey, give me a call and let's talk about it."
Right.
You give them a way to purchase the property, to click on it and sign out. You don't, and the same goes with when you're buying property. Don't send a piece of mail out that says, "Hey, I love that piece of property you have over there. Why don't you give me a call? We'll talk about buying it from you."
Right.
Every single person that you send a letter to is going to call you back. And you're never going to get a deal done because you're talking to people who aren't real sellers.
Exactly.
You want to send an offer,
Yeah. I think the big thing is you just got to take a step back and realize it's got to be priced right. You got to reach the right people and make it easy for them. I think if you just took that away, that's it.
Right.
I love it. And I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you bought it wrong, I mean, I'm wondering if you buy it wrong, how do you recover?
I have never personally done that, so I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think that you need to buy property backwards. We've talked about this a million times. You start with what you want to sell it for. As crazy and cockamamie as the number might be.
Right.
Start with what you want to sell it for, cut that in half, and then work down from there.
Right.
And if you send 1,000 offers out, 10 people call you back and say, yeah, absolutely, I want to do this. Then you let the mail and the sellers decide for you. You already set the price,
right.
And then you let those people come back to you and say, hey, that's what I want.
Exactly.
And the other 80% can go kicking and screaming and say you're crazy, but all it takes is a couple to get started.
You know what? You said something earlier when we were getting ready for this call, and I like what that. I wrote it down. Don't cut corners.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good advice for people too. Be patient. It's going to be just fine. Don't cut corners. Don't get hung up on it. That's when I see people a mistake I see people making is they're like, oh, this is perfect for Craigslist. I'm just going to put it there.
I see that all the time.
I'm like, why are you doing that? I'm just going to put it on eBay and a 30-day auction and just see how it goes.
In the spirit of completely and totally telling the truth, Jill and I have a pretty good wholesale network of people that it's really has nothing to do with Land Academy. And so we're very guilty of this, honestly, Jill. We don't post our properties where we should to get the notarization, to get the notoriety that we need, or not need, but that we should probably deserve.
Right now, I don't have enough inventory to work with, and that's why.
What happens with us?
And they disappear so fast.
What happens with us, and this might be helpful just as a long-term goal to shoot for. When the mail comes back, or when we send a mailer out, or any deal from any source comes in, the first thing that I know Jill does in the back of her head is says, oh, I think that's going to be perfect for X, because she's got a group of people that they're ready to go and pay. We don't have to do any work. Mm-hmm. She gives them the county and the APN and the state, and they look it up, because they're pros. Mm-hmm. They're in the business. Mm-hmm. And they say, absolutely, I'll send you a check or wire the money today.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't go through, it's not what we only do.
Correct.
But we don't go through the map process. And there's a lot of stuff.
That is a great goal to shoot for, though. Like you said, Stephen, who doesn't want that? I don't have to advertise it at that point. Mm-hmm. So it's really great.
So if you're looking to build a list, put us on the top. We would love to be on the top of your A list. Turns out we buy a lot of property.
Turns out.
Join us in another episode where Jill and I discuss your all-important success in property investment and in life. Sometimes I feel like is that too basic?
No,
I think give more detail.
No, I think base is good. That was kind of content heavy.
Oh,
kind of,
You're not horsing around or not.
No, that's my only thing. But
you look really pretty today.
Thank you very much. Some people like that though. Some people like that.
You look pretty all the time, but today it's just.
Thank you.
I think it's a Friday thing.
It's a Friday.
Like happy on the inside too.
Fun. I am happy. I'm usually happy on the inside. Yeah. So that was a good content one. So people say, you guys horse around a lot. I want more meat. Well, there's your meat.
Yeah, it's not that much fun, is it?
Yeah, it's not that fun.
You know why it's not that fun? Because we're not having that much fun either.
Exactly.
I'd rather horse around
It's hard for us.
All
you
half
have
hour.
to focus? What? What are you talking about?
It hurts my head to think like this all the time.
It does. Oh, my goodness. What's your attention span, Stephen? What do you think it is?
I just read. I'm glad you brought that up. I just read that somebody did how to do a perfect YouTube video. And so in that, it was pretty in depth. Right. Somebody paid for this study. And it said you have about 2 seconds to capture someone's attention. And after about 20 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, they're really going to decide whether or not they're going to watch the rest.
Right.
And so you better, at the end of it, do something consistently with all your videos that makes them want to watch it to the end. Like, I don't know, pop champagne or laugh your head off or put something in the microwave that never should go in there. I don't know, some kind of silliness after you're instructing something that's intelligent.
Can I tell you something about me with YouTube?
Yeah.
If they're not attractive, I have a hard time watching. Well, I'm sorry. It helps if you look good.
I just assumed you had a pretty low standard in men anyway.
No, what the heck? What does that mean?
Well, you chose me.
Yeah, Stephen, you silly. No, but I have to admit that I don't know. If you're missing some teeth and you're really, really smart.
What?
I don't know. You might need to just do the screenshot, not put you right there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Use your best attribute.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, all right. I get, that's how I would phrase that.
Yeah. I don't mean to be.
Put your best foot forward.
Don't mean to put some people down, but come on. Right. There's some unattractive, very brilliant people out there. Maybe they shouldn't be the face of the whatever.
You're pretty smart and you have a great voice. Don't film your feet. That kind of thing.
Think about the commercials we watch. There's a reason why the real executives are not in those commercials. Well, they don't
There's
want
a reason
to,
we have a podcast and not a video show.
What? I wasn't referring to us. Thanks a lot. Okay, I'm out.
Let's go buy some property.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.